Hi, it's Tina from Tina's Country Door. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a spring flower wreath using the Dollar Tree bicycle wreath frame. This is going to be a super easy flower to make. Before I get to the tutorial, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you get notified whenever I post new videos. Now, I'm going to take you down and show you the materials that I'm using in this flower wreath. The materials I'm using, of course, the Dollar Tree bicycle wreath frame. I've got 12 moss apple green or apple moss green deco mesh. I've got 36 metallic white deco mesh and 36 metallic pink deco mesh, and they're all cut 10 by 10. I will also be using zip ties, elastics. I bought these at the Dollar Tree and some of them at Walmart. You get 500 for $1 in a pack. I'm using my Woodburner. I cut all of my deco mesh and poly burlap with my Woodburner. I'm using my zip tie gun or cable gun to clip my zip ties and my pliers to pull my zip ties tight. And then I will be using my glue gun with glue to put the center on. That's what this floral pin's for too, to help with the center. And here is my center. I made this doing the acrylic pour method. And I show how I make my centers in my Ophelia Wreath Designs group. I'll leave a link to that in the description below if you want to go check that out. It is a paid tutorial. I teach this, and I have 3 wreath designs in the group that I teach how to make. So with anything like the glue gun, Woodburner, the zip tie gun, I will leave links to those in the description. I am an affiliate with Amazon, so I get a small commission if you purchase anything using my links. I painted the bicycle wreath frame white because the colors of my petals are light and I didn't want to take a chance of the dark frame showing through. You don't have to paint it white. You can just leave it alone. Now the petals, the leaves, I'm only using 12, and I've already put a few on here because I wanted to test out the petal that I'm using to make sure that I was going to like it. So that's just how I am before I get all the way into something. So let me move my glass out of the way. And it's such an easy petal that I'm doing on this. Now you have to watch the factory edge to make sure you do all of the petals the same way so that they're consistent with each other. Now, as you can see, the factory edge is here, and the reason I've got that on the left side is because I'm going around right clockwise, and this is going to be covered. So I want this covered with the factory edge. And to get my factory edge on that side of the petal or of the wreath, I lay my leaf. Well, if I can get this, move all this. I need a bigger table. So I've got the 10 by 10. I put it in a diamond shape. I have a factory edge up here and a factory edge down here. And all I do is walk it from corner to corner. So easy. And then I flip it around. And I'm going to bring this one over that one just a little to help hide that factory edge. And I have that petal. Looks like a mermaid tail, but that's what the petal's going to look like. And then I get my elastic. Now these would be a lot harder to put on without the elastic, because trying to hold the petal while you're, because I use 2 zip ties to attach the leaves to this so that the leaves aren't wonky. So I've gone ahead and put 1 zip tie on. I use 2 per leaf petal So I put one zip tie on here, slide that in there, and see how the factory edge is covering the raw edge. I'm going to pull this zip tie tight. Oh, hit myself. Almost. And cut that off. Now I'm going to take this other, because see with this I crisscrossed it over that bar. And so with this one, I'm going to go the other way and cross it over. Make sure I got that right. And then that straightens that out. That brings it straight. So this is what it looks like in the back. They're crisscrossed. So easy. And where these petals are more open than the ones I've done on the other flowers I've made using this wreath form, that's why I'm only using 12. The other ones I use 24 petals for the leaves, but this gives me a good amount of coverage, so I'm only using 12 because there are 12 bars. So I'm going to go on ahead and put all the leaf petals on, and then I'll come back and we'll get started on the other rows, the flower petals. And this is what the flower is looking like so far with all the leaves on. Now I'm going to show you how I make the flower petal. Lay that down. I didn't have any 10-inch roll. I only had 21-inch roll. So I had to make do with what I had. So I'm going to show you what I did. Let me get this over here. Straighten up. I'm at the end of the roll. So, you know, when you get to the end of the roll, it likes to stay curled under. I've got this on my Susie's mesh roller. And I wouldn't have been able to cut this without this because, well, I could have, but it would have been a lot of frustration. So I'm so glad I have this. If you're interested in buying one of these, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check these out. I've had this for like 2 years and it's like one of the best things I've ever gotten. My husband got this for me for Christmas. So anyways, get back to the tutorial. I'm not going to actually cut a piece because I don't need another piece. I've gotten them all cut out, but I'm going to demonstrate it. I used my Woodburner, of course. Now I take this, the edge, it's on 27 here, and I cut down to 17, 10 inches. And so usually I have this under here, and that holds this down. So I'm sorry for shaking the table, but I usually have it through this thing, coming through and pulled out, and that will hold it down. But this is just for a quick demonstration, so I'm not worried about that. So I pull it out, and then I come 10 inches from that corner, and I use my Woodburner, and I go in between the lines, and I cut it all the way to the end. Now, after I got it to the end, I turned it long way and measured. Let's see, I don't have a piece, no. But after I cut that, I turned it long way and I measured 10 inches from the factory edge, and I used my Woodburner and I cut it 10 inches. Then this is where I was, you know, that would have been 3 raw edges and 1 factory edge. And so there could have been a lot of fraying even after using the Woodburner. So I was trying to figure out what can I do to cut back on the fraying. So I decided to do this petal like this. What I did was I folded it over. Let's see, I'll demonstrate on this one. This isn't the white, but let's pretend this is the white. And I've got the 3 raw edges. I flipped it like this. And I have the factory edge down here so that it is consistent with all of the other petals. I want the factory edge to stay on the left hand side because I'm going clockwise and the factory edge will lay over the raw edge of the previous petal. So the factory edge down here, and I flipped this corner up to that corner. Now remember, we're pretending that this is the white one with the raw edge. Now these two edges right here would be raw edges. So all I did, so I've got this raw edges, factory edge, and I took my Woodburner, I spread that out, and I just went along the factory edge in between two lines, and I cut that. And then I got down here and I just cut that off just because it was irritating me. No particular reason. I'm weird, y'all. That's just how I am. So I just cut that little corner off. And since I cut that little corner off, I figured, well, I better cut that corner off too to make it symmetrical. Anyway, just a little bit of my quirkiness. So what that did was that fused those edges together, and that is going to help on, you know, help with the fraying. Now this, wait, that's loose there. Let's fuse this together. Okay. Now the back here is still the factory edge. I mean the raw edge, but I'm not worried about that because it's going to be covered with that. So to make the petal, I take a 10 by 10 pink, and this, got these strays. Now to keep it consistent, I want the factory edge down here and up here. So I'm going to walk this in from one corner to the next and then bring that around like I did the leaves. This petal is just like I did the leaves. And lay that over like that. Then I'm going to, let's get a elastic to hold this while I do the white part. Okay, now I'm going to take this white petal and I'm going to do it like this. Put my middle finger up here and my thumb down here and kind of stretch it just a little bit, not too much. And take these two fingers and pull it. And then gather it. Okay. Now, and flip it over like that. Now I'm going to lay this on the pink. Get my elastic. Okay. Straighten the petal out. Anything that I see that I don't like. And then there's your petal. So that is the petal, the flower petal. And I'm doing this same petal on all 3 rows. I'm doing 3 rows of flower petals on this. And I'm using the exact same petal. Each row is going to have 12 petals. Because there's 12 bars. So I'm going to put a petal on each bar, first row. Then go to the second row and put a petal on each bar. Third row, a petal on each bar. So the same petal, all 3 rows. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to attach the petal on this flower. Where's my zip ties? Take a zip tie, put it they want to stick. They snag each other. Okay, let's get that in there. And I'm pulling the factory edge over the raw edge of that petal. Like that. Okay. Pull that taut. And clip it. So I told you this is going to be such an easy flower to make. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me put on 34 petals. I'm going to go put all 3 rows on because I'm not going to do anything different. They're all going to be the same. And I'll come back, show you what it looks like, and we'll do the center of the flower. I told you, this is going to be so easy. I'm on the last row, and when you get, of course, the closer you get to the center, the less room you have. So to fit 12 in here, it gets really crowded. So what I've done is I went every other bar, and I've already put one in. See, and then I'm going back, and the ones in between them that I haven't put a petal on yet, I'm putting the petal in, and it kind of lays over the ones that's already on there so they can all fit in there. So that's what I'm doing. If I can get this zip tie turned around here. You can get this wreath done in no time. Now, if you use regular 10-inch deco mesh roll instead of the 21-inch, it'd be a lot easier. But I didn't have 10-inch, and I wanted to use what I already had on hand, so I used my 21-inch. And if you use a 10-inch, you can just do the regular Dean Michael fold. The white as a Dean Michael fold. So, I'm just showing you what you can do with what you got if you ain't got what you want. So, after I get these on, then it's time for the center. Okay, let's see. Trying to make sure that the raw edges are covered with the factory edge of the petal that's put on, you know, the next petal that's put on over the previous petal. I really like these Dollar Tree bicycle wreath frames. I mean, I have more wreaths planned and tutorials. I'm way up there. What's that doing up there? So, I mean, you can do different, you can do flowers and other things. So, I'm so glad that I found these wreath frames. Now, I couldn't find them in my Dollar Tree store, so I had to order mine online. And I will leave a link to where you can order them online in case you can't find them in your store. And you can have them delivered to your store, which is free of charge, or you can have them delivered to your home. So, let's clip these off. I've got plenty of these frames to do stuff with. I think it was 24 of these frames. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip it over so I can pull my petals, line them up. You know how picky I am, OCD. If you've watched my previous video, you know. If you watched my other, so I think it was my last video doing, am I missing a petal? No, there's 3 there. Doing a flower on the bicycle wreath frame, you saw my OCD. If you haven't watched it, I'll put a link to the other flowers that I've done on this frame, so you can go watch those and you'll see how bad my OCD is. Trying to get these lined up so they're even. Oh wow, that's, what do you think? Is that gonna be pretty? I think I'm gonna like it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna like it. So now I'm letting my glue gun warm up, and as soon as it gets hot enough, then we'll work on putting this on the flower. I've got my glue gun hot for putting the center on. This center was a 6-inch ball that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and I cut it in half and just sanded the bottom to smooth it out, and then did the acrylic pour over it. Now all I'm gonna do for this is try to find the center, just making a judgment here. Try to find the center, stick one of these floral pins in there, because I don't want it lopsided on my flower. Try to center it. I think I got it centered. So I've got those holes there. I'm gonna put glue, if I can keep an eye out on those holes and don't lose where I put them. Put some glue on this. And then try not to get burnt. Stick that down in there. Push it. I just need to make sure that stays secure. Let that cool down and harden. And then I'll put my zip tie through that and on the wreath. And I forgot to say at the beginning that I use placemats that I get from the Dollar Tree to cover the back. And I just so happen to have a pink one, so that goes really good. So I get those from the Dollar Tree. I have a whole stack of those. And they're like the perfect fit for the back of these wreaths. So it takes me 4 zip ties to put that on the back. And then I'm going to be finished with this flower. Didn't I tell you? It was super easy. So anyone should be able to do this. Oh, it was so easy. So easy. Didn't take long at all. And all the petals are the same. 36 flower petals on here. 12 leaf petals. So easy. So easy. Let's let that cool. I don't want to stick the zip tie through there when that's still hot, because if it gets stuck, any of that glue gets on the zip tie won't zip. These make large flowers, but they're so pretty. So I'm going to find a place directly across from each other to try to make sure I center the center as best I can. And I'm going to push that zip tie down in there, if I can get it. And then bring it up through the other side, straight across. And then I'll zip it. Okay. Just getting it started. So now I can have that right there. Then I'm going to take this other zip tie. Make sure that's on there. Yep, I don't think that's coming out. And I'm going to run that through there. Oh, here, I want to see. And run this zip tie through this other zip tie and get it started. Get that started. Okay. Oh yeah, that's gonna look so good. It's perfect for spring colors. Let's start zipping that. Now this one I can zip all the way because I still have the zip tie that's on the frame that I have to pull tight. But I won't pull it as tight as I can because I don't want to squash my petals. Clip that off. There. Okay, yeah, this is loose, but I still have the one in the back to tighten. Okay. And I even think the back is, you know, kind of pretty itself. I mean, I'm going to cover it, but, you know, I think the back is neat and pretty. Now, that is on there. Look at that. That's on there. But it's not too tight. I mean, I don't want it squished in there, so I like it like that. So, yeah, it can move around, but it's not going to come off. Maybe pull it just a little bit. Tighter. Okay. All right. Now, let's work on putting the back on this thing. But like I said, even this, I mean, I think it's pretty. I do. And you don't have to worry about this scratching the door because the back is going to be covered. And you can just push it over like that. But we'll put this cover on and it's done. Then I'll hang it up and show you guys what it looks like. Perfect. Perfect. Now, for this, I just find a little place that I can stick the zip tie through, and I just start the zip tie. I don't zip it all the way. And I do this 4 places. I forgot to put my little hanger on there to hang this with. Or you could just hang it on the frame and not have to worry about putting anything on it. I've been meaning to do this one for so long, and I finally just broke down and said, I've just got to do it. Just do it, Tina. Okay, now the reason I don't zip these all the way, start zipping them, because I'll go straight across, the ones straight across from each other to try to get this even. And I'll zip a little at a time, because I don't want it sticking out way over on one side. And then, you know, like you can see the frame on the other side. So I try to get them as even as I can. And I do that by pulling the zip ties at the same time. So that's why I don't zip it all the way. And then you can just push the zip ties in the back like that and hide it so it won't scratch the door. See? There we go. Now let's do this one. Okay. And I try to feel it to make sure I've got it pulled. Okay. Yeah. There we go. See? That's pretty. And there's the flower. And I like having this a little bit loose so I can, like when I hang it up and it looks a little off to me or wonky, I can just move it around to where I want it. I have to clip. Where are my scissors? all frays. See, even using the Woodburner, for the most part, it's very good at preventing frays, but not 100% fray proof. But there is the flower. Like I said, I will hang it up and show you what it looks like hanging up. Here is the finished flower. It's definitely spring. I'm happy with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you aren't already following me on my other social media sites, you can check them out at the links I'll leave in the description. I hope you got some inspiration from this tutorial. I love to inspire others to create because I believe that creativity makes the world a more colorful place, and we can always use more color in our lives. Until next time, may God bless you. Bye everyone.